Holy shit, guys. We fucking made it.
Oh.
We
It's
are
probably mirrored.
Yeah, probably. I don't know how. I don't know why. But we did it. This is our 100th episode. Congratulations, everybody. We did it.
Nobody's going to be able to see that, right?
Oh, damn it.
Yeah. No.
and you're pointing at the wrong corner. It is mirrored.
Yeah, for us.
Oh,
it's
it
the
is
wrong
mirrored?
corner.
Okay.
0, 1.
That could not have been better, though. Honestly,
Let's all hold up our. We have to hold up 100. So like I'll do the 1. Oh yeah, there's our thumbnail right there. Hell yeah, 100.
There you go.
We're not gonna do the dumb thumbnail face.
No, wait, I just look like a monkey. I look like a fat monkey.
And it's gonna appear wrong. I'm gonna have to flip it. It's gonna look like shit. I promise.
Oh, it's gonna look so dumb. It's gonna be the epitome of why we should have never had 100 episodes to begin with.
That is crazy. 100 episodes?
Yeah. It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it really doesn't.
It doesn't, but
Well, at least
whatever.
We're rich now.
Yeah, it's true. 100 episodes. We did it. I can't believe it. And tonight we are going to be drinking I don't know, kind of a special drink. It's nothing it's easy to find, but it's kind of expensive.
There's alcohol in it, which for
There's
us,
actually alcohol.
It's a bit of a departure lately.
It is a bourbon. It's a bourbon. We haven't done a whole lot of that lately. But it's got a really, really, really cool backstory. We're going to be drinking some Horse Soldier, the small batch, bronze label. Ryan, you want to tell us about it, or do you want me to talk about it a little bit, or what?
I'll let you talk about it, just because I think it fits your background a little more than mine.
Okay, so the guys that started Horse Soldier, they were in the Army. They were Green Berets. Just after 9/11, they got shipped off to Afghanistan, as many of us did. And being Afghanistan, the mountainous regions that, holy shit, Afghanistan has mountainous regions. One of the easiest way to get around is by horse, not by Humvee or helicopters are nice, but kind of hard to get up to some of those mountain tops in helicopters even. So a horse is a great means of travel in Afghanistan. And they were serving together, Green Berets, and they started Horse Soldier Distillery. The mold that is okay. I want to settle something, because I've heard a lot of people say this, and they are very wrong. Many people say that metal piece on the front of the bottle is made from 9/11 steel. It is not. That is not 9/11 steel. If that metal front was 9/11 steel, I personally would be fucking livid, because every bottle of that gets drank gets thrown in the trash, and now you're throwing away 9/11 steel. So it's absurd that these guys, that 9/11 means so much to them, would put actual steel from the Twin Towers on the front of their bottles that they knew were going to get thrown away. No, but
It's Pentagon steel.
Pentagon steel. It's very different. Very different. But the truth here is that the mold that the guys use to make the bottles, that mold is 9/11 steel. Okay, so they acquired steel from the Twin Towers, melted it, created a mold for those bottles, and that's kind of a cool aspect that follows the tradition, follows the story of Horse Soldier Bourbon. So that's what I got. That's what I got. I don't remember the proof on this though. Is it 87?
It is 87. Yeah, 43
Okay.
and a half percent alcohol.
Okay.
And before it was just purchased by E&J Gallo Winery, which big conglomerate of wines and spirits, and then High Noon as well, which is their cash cow right now. But previously was owned or affiliated with the Foley family. The Foley family owns the Vegas Golden Knights, but they also are a major wine player in California. Sebastiani is one of their big brands. If you guys have heard of that. But yeah, they do a good job, and in conjunction with the whiskey, they opened a restaurant in St. Petersburg, Florida. And as you know, my dad's down there, so I've gone to lunch there a few times. It's called the Urban Still House. They make a bunch of good cocktails with their Horse Soldier bourbon. The food's great, so if you're ever down in the Tampa area, you should try and stop there because it's a beautiful restaurant too. You go in and it's just wowed. Just by, kind of that what you see on the bottle here is very similar to what their restaurant looks like. It's that, urban-y feel.
Steven, let's do your label rating. Oh, and you can pick up this bottle most places, fairly easy to find. $70 to $75 is what you'll find it for, and from what I've seen.
Oh, really? Up here, I usually see it around the $50 range, 50 to 60.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So, unless they've taken a major price increase lately. Yeah, that's the area. That's the part I've seen. And also, Dan, the mash bill is 65% corn, 30% rye, 5% malted barley.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think it's a really premium looking bottle. I think it looks really nice. And I'm sure that it feels better in the hand than it even just like I'm just looking at it, but I'm sure it feels premium too. Like with the metal label and everything. I don't know if you guys heard that. I don't know what the fuck Jesse's doing in the other room. It's like she just body
You
slammed
accidentally-
the wall.
The ritual just killed her. That's
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah. All right. Well. So the Horse Soldier anyway. It's super cool looking. I think it fits the theme very well. It's amazing to me that a like goldish metal on the front doesn't look garish or something. Actually, it looks fitting. It looks like sort of rustic. It looks like almost like something you would see on the side of a ship or something like that. I don't know. It does look very industrial and cool. And I'm going to be giving it an 8. I just think it's a really solid bottle. I didn't know any backstory that you guys gave me here or anything on it, but if I just saw that on the shelf, it would seem to me to be, you feel like you're getting your money's worth if it's a little bit more expensive. Even if you end up not liking the whiskey, I think it goes a long way to have a good presentation. And it can easily be like, regardless of what I think of this taste-wise, I think this could be a great gift. I'll say that already. It looks like a really nice bottle.
yeah, and so I agree with everything you said, Stephen. And so much of whiskey and bourbon is about the lore and about the story and the background, and that just carries right through with the bottle. So I like your 8.0. Ryan, was there anything you wanted to add?
No, I mean, you guys said what I was going to say. So it's just sleek. It looks nice, and it honors, a good tradition, and obviously what they're going for really shows with that. But I mean, it feels nice. It looks cool, and the bottle's unique too. It's you don't see a lot of bottles shaped like this either, so it's very distinct.
All right, cool. Well, do we want to go ahead and check out the nose and have a sip?
Let's do it.
It almost that bottle shape almost reminds me of like a Remus product slightly. That's the only thing I can think of that's kind of shaped like that.
I was thinking a Whistle Pig. Or
Whistle Pig, yeah, Whistle Pig's a good call.
Or the Four Roses.
That's definitely
a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, cheers.
Cheers. What do you think of the nose?
it's vanilla-y, and then but there's still a decent amount of ethanol burn I pick up off of it too.
Get some mustiness to it, and then like Mr. Clean.
Yeah, I need a little of that. I get some toffee out of it too.
Yeah, some toffee, some caramel, some I think
No
vanilla.
Mr. Clean?
I'm not picking up any Mr. Clean, but I don't have like the greatest nose for Mr. Clean either. So I'm not gonna.
You don't drink Mr. Clean, dude?
Not
Sniff. If you sniff Mr. Clean.
yet. Give me 10 more years. Show me what Dan has seen, and maybe I will.
All right,
All right, well, I'm gonna sip it. Cheers, guys.
Cheers to 100 episodes, by the way.
100 episodes. Y'all are so fucking dumb.
I get some caramel apple almost out of the drinking it.
Mm-hmm. Little bitterness, like I don't mean like. How do I put that? Yeah, just a little bit of the bitterness that goes along with a sour apple, I guess.
Yeah,
Quite
very
a bit,
oaky.
quite a bit of flavor for as overall I feel it's kind of watery. It's being lower proof, but quite a bit of flavor out of it.
So I don't get a whole lot of oakiness personally. But I think you were dead on, Ryan, with the apple, like the green apple flavor.
Yeah,
I get a lot of that. I don't get as much sweetness as I expected to.
I feel like as soon as I drank it, it was very sweet as soon as it entered my mouth, and then I immediately left my palate, and then I started getting that caramely apple with spiciness to it.
I think this tastes to me quite a bit like if you slightly watered down like Old Forester, just regular Old Forester. Because the particular note is that it's a little bit of that astringency. It's a little bit, yeah, acidic, and I think that that's the closest one that I still like that it tastes like to me.
Have we done standard Old Forester 86 on the show? I don't think we have we?
I don't think so.
That's my fault.
Have we done any Old Forester? We did birthday bourbon, right? Or did we not even do birthday bourbon? I can't remember now. We did birthday bourbon.
We did, yeah.
We did birthday bourbon and we did double oaked, which is Woodford.
Woodford.
So Ryan, you're getting ready to go on a trip.
Yeah, 16 days. I will be out of the country. So we fly out Friday. We go. We fly to Dubai. We're
Immediately
to Dubai. 2 days. 2 nights, and then the third day we fly to India after that. So going to India for 5 or 6 days and meeting some of my wife's family who lives over there. And then from India, we're going to be in Hyderabad. We fly to Italy, but we have a 2-hour layover in Bahrain, which is like Dubai Junior, I hear. I don't know much about it, but I know that's kind of the vibe they're going for. Bahrain to Milan, Italy. So we're doing like a night in Milan, that area, go shopping, and then we're doing 4 days in Florence. Got a nice little winery tour hooked up there. It's a long fucking trip. And then from Florence, we go up to Switzerland. So we're doing 2 days in Lugano, which is like a beautiful lake town. It's where I'm most looking forward to. And then from there, we take a train through the Alps. We go to Zurich, and then we fly home. We got a layover in Barcelona for 12 hours. So we're going to see Barcelona. And then we fly to Lisbon, and then we have an 18-hour layover in Lisbon, and then we go home.
Wow.
So it's a lot. I'm going to catch COVID.
Dude, you are not gonna shit right. I mean, like you haven't shit right in years anyway.
That's a good point.
But
I am taking fiber.
This is gonna be dangerous for you, dude.
You think so?
There's gonna be some catastrophic stuff happen on some of these planes, dude.
Oh yeah.
I know.
It's gonna be so bad.
I'm really nervous.
What's the toilet situation in some of these places? Like, probably not great in some of them, right?
I think it's only going to be, our Airbnb in India is a really nice Airbnb.
I'm worried about Bahrain, dude.
No, Bahrain is fancy.
Are the toilets fancy?
Very wealthy. Oh yeah, it's
okay.
Bahrain, Dubai.
That's my
will not be any concern.
Hey, my bad. I apologize.
Yeah.
Apologies to the family. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, India is a whole different story. That is where the concern about shitting comes up more, for sure. I think for sure. There's probably just holes in the ground in some places.
So where my thoughts were going with it was actually not so much the toilet situation in India. Yes. However, the food situation in Dubai for you. Like, are you going to be eating Middle Eastern food, and are you accustomed to eating Middle Eastern food?
Oh yeah, I eat Middle Eastern. Oh yeah, I eat Middle Eastern food all the time.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah, I eat a lot of Indian food.
Okay.
I mean, I know.
Obviously,
Dubai's so westernized. Yeah, Dubai's so westernized. Like, I can go to Shake Shack, right?
Yeah.
And have a burger there. It's all halal meat, obviously, but it's this. It's going to taste the same.
I think halal meat tastes better, personally.
Yeah, halal meat's good. I mean, if you go to a grocery store and there's a halal section, like, check it out. A lot of times the meat is better quality.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than that kosher shit.
I know. I agree.
I was going to ask on this
I was baiting you.
On this 100th episode of ours, what is some of the whiskeys you guys have liked trying the most through 100 episodes, whether that's reflected in your score or not? So maybe it's not even some of the ones that you've rated like a 9, but it was just a really good episode or something.
I mean, obviously the Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel, which I have downstairs. I should go grab in a few minutes. That bottle blew me away. In hindsight now, I mean, I still love that bottle, but the Angel's Envy Rye, I never thought I would touch an Angel's Envy product. That rye is phenomenal. It might be my favorite whiskey that I've ever had. It's that good. It's up there. Obviously, last week, Steven, this one was big for you.
Yeah.
I still got a little bit of that. But one of my fondest memories is drinking 3/4 of the bottle of Mellow Corn and being so hungover the next day.
Yeah, that was irresponsible.
Yeah. For me, I'm gonna say I've been most happy with the Elijah Craig Toasted episode, the Smoke Wagon episode, Angel's Envy Rye episode. That Angel's Envy Rye episode was like 3 blind ryes or 4 blind ryes. I can't remember which it was.
Yeah, one of them, yeah.
But I thought that was a really good episode. And the Mellow Corn episode. But my favorite episode, I forget which episode it was, but we all agreed, we were just like, that is the epitome, like the best episode we could ever possibly do. We should have shut it down after, I can't remember which one it was.
Was it maybe Michter's, like early on? Is that what you're talking
about? No, I mean, that would make sense that we should have shut it down after an early episode. But there was one that we just had an absolute blast. We had so much fun the whole time. Our jokes, we were riffing off each other really well.
This could have been a dream.
No. It happened.
Fireball was fun too.
Fireball was a fun episode.
Yeah. There was one in the last 6 months where it was just I was smiling for like 2 hours, however long it was.
It was just a really fun episode. And we even, like, in the comments, it was like, this was maybe our most fun.
Bourbon and Blondes was a fun episode.
That was a fun episode.
The Jepson's bourbon one was pretty fun.
Jepson's was pretty fun, yep.
I've really enjoyed getting together, like getting to know like Connor and Kelly and Alan. That's been big to me.
Reuniting with some old comedy buddies.
Yeah.
You've had on.
A 100 episodes. It really is crazy. But you go back, like we have videos from 2 years ago, right?
Sweetheart of the Rodeo.
Is that what it was?
That was, I referred to that as probably my favorite episode we've ever done.
Is that the one where we talked about killing Bob Seger, or how we should have done that?
Wasn't Connor on that one?
No, he just said he really liked that.
Yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of Bob Seger lately, for whatever reason.
Oh, that's the episode where we tried to talk to Dustin Diamond through the Ouija board.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
Rest in peace, King.
Yeah, just think, 100 episodes of this podcast ago, Dustin Diamond was healthy, or thought he was healthy. You know,
as far as Dustin Diamond knew, he was still up here. Now he's at least 6 feet under that, right? Like,
yeah. And what is his current like level of decomposition at this point? I feel like
he's got to be just bones.
Yeah, I feel like he had to go to shit so quick. Well, him in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He probably still had that fro.
It's
right? I bet hair is one of the last things to decompose.
He looks like in Home Alone 2.
Protein, so. Yeah.
In Home Alone 2, whenever he's like getting electrocuted and then like hair is standing up.
Do you think Dustin Diamond was smart enough to realize he was dying? Like, do you think that
not until it was too late?
No.
Well, like in some of his final days, I remember him and his agent were like, those fucking Motel 6s we had to stay in.
Yeah.
They were like, these goddamn mold in these walls. All these comedy clubs fucked us over. It's like, dude, you're in stage 4. Just enjoy your last few days, man. He was like, you motherfuckers. All these goddamn Comedy Etc. 2 making me stay in the fucking dirty Ramada.
He hadn't even seen my taint a year ago.
That's true.
Or 100 episodes ago.
No.
A year ago, he was dead. So, but 100 episodes ago, he had not seen my taint yet.
Do you remember? Was Sweetheart of the Rodeo also where we jokingly looked up Dustin Diamond? Like, oh, he had to have died like 6 months ago.
Yeah, that's why we did the Ouija board.
That's the reason we did the Ouija board.
Yeah.
It ended up being the 1 year anniversary of his death. Plus, Sweetheart of the Rodeo was easily the biggest surprise to me on how much I liked it and how good it was.
Yeah.
I guarantee I have sold at least 30 bottles of Sweetheart of the Rodeo for them just by telling people that have access to it how good it was.
Yeah. You want me to go?
Yeah, go.
I'm going to rate this bottle a 9/11. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, Horse Soldier. You're good. The bottle's great. I think the juice is just okay. I don't think it's super complex. Um, the coloring's pretty light. I think if they would have went up in proof a little bit more, you would have gotten a little more out of the juice. It being 87, it definitely doesn't have that like Michter's effect where you're at the the 84 to 87 proof range. There's not a lot of complexity to it. That Granny Smith apple, the caramel apple aspect of it. The baking spices are good, but I think it lacks a little bit of character for the whiskey itself. Everything else about it is awesome. The bottle looks cool. The gold emblem, the copper emblem in front. The backstory about the Green Berets is honorable. The Urban Stillhouse that they own in Tampa is cool, but I feel like, and I've had this in cocktails too, and it pairs really well. But just as a regular straight bourbon, I'm gonna give it a 7.3. It's good. It's not my favorite thing. I would like to see more offerings of their stuff that's higher in proof. And Dan, I think you said, didn't you have a higher end one? I'm sure you got more characteristics out of it than this one, but I understand it's their mainline bourbon. Keep the proof down, you're able to get more bourbon out in the market. But yeah, 7.3, it's good, but overall just kind of an average bourbon.
Cool. Do you want me to go, Steven, or do you want to?
Who would you prefer to close out our 100th episode? Who's the closer?
Why don't you be the closer tonight, Steven?
All right, you go.
All right. So I'm gonna go with a 6.8. I think that it's a good bourbon. Don't get me wrong, but I do think I think number one that it's young. Green apple really comes through on young bourbons. Like that's one of the only times you get a green apple flavor is when it's a young whiskey. So I think that it needs to be aged a little bit longer, and I think that would add, especially with it being such a high rye content mash bill, that it needs that extra age. Really requires that extra age. Now, having said that, I do think that the rye that they use is a nice rye. It's very floral. It's very very fruity floral aspects to it. But I do think it's also very high acidity, and that's going to bother me. I don't like an acidic whiskey, and this is a really highly acidic whiskey. So to just like throw on to what either Ryan or Steven or both of them were saying earlier, if you like Woodford and Old Forester products, this is one that you probably will really like because there's a lot of acidity in those as well. So yeah, that's my reasoning for rating it, and that's where I'm at.
All right, I'm headlining this here open mic, and I think that I'm giving it 7.9 actually.
Oh.
And I'll say it's right under an 8. It's like a 7.95 for me, which is massive praise considering that it's kind of acidic, it's kind of young, and it's only 87 proof, right?
Yep.
So all that considered, and it's, I would say its price proposition is pretty high. It's probably not a good value on paper. I think it's safe to say, just strictly by those numbers. And yet I'm giving it almost an 8 because I really just like the flavors at the heart of it. Again, I agree with Dan. I don't typically like anything that acidic, but something about this, I like the flavors themselves. And so I definitely agree with you guys in terms of, I think that this could be really, really a high competitor for me if it was aged a little bit longer, if it was a little higher proof, something like that. But I feel like those are pretty easy things to change. And so I'm really excited to see if, they come out with more offerings or just, in a few years they have a product that's aged a little bit more. Anything like that. I'm excited to see what else they do. It's kind of like how we felt about Brothers Bond. It was like, well, I'm not writing them off. Here it's like, I like this. If they never did anything else, I would say that if you saw it at a good price, maybe, I wouldn't rush out and get this. I'm not putting it in my 8s for that reason. That's why it's right there. but man, it's one to look out for. I'll say that, and hopefully they start coming out with more product that kind of matches that price. And I think, if I may, we're all kind of still waiting for another bourbon show to ascend to that level of maturity.
No.
Well,
I'm gonna
here's to
change my.
100 more.
This is now a 6.9.
And that's how we closed the 100th episode with all three of us.
Ryan did a 9/11 joke and a 6.9 joke. I'm gonna give
Within
it a 420,
5 minutes.
Gotta play the hits, dude.
Another bourbon show. Another bourbon show. Another bourbon show.
Happy 100th episode to another bourbon show. Hopefully in the next 100 you get more than, 3 women? Cheers, guys.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Connor from Northern Utah at the only non-independent craft distillery here in Northern Utah. Dan reached out to boost his ego to say that you three were about to hit 100 episodes. And I just want to say, I do not care. I only watch the episodes I'm in. And when I want to hear uneducated, unasked for, complete bullshit commentary on whiskey, I go to Fred Minnick. But instead I have you three. And when becoming friends with you three, all I got was this shitty sticker. And before any of the three viewers, think that I got this for free, I had to pay for this sticker, just like everyone else. So I really don't know what being friends with you guys is worth, but I did get this little sample of Asbury Park bourbon. So I guess there's that. I don't know. Cheers to 100 episodes. I mean, maybe 60, maybe 70 are worth a damn, but you hit 100 regardless. And I suppose that's worth celebrating. Cheers.